MMA Boxing Talk here. This is a post-fight video for Yair Rodriguez versus Alex Cacares. Great fight, very, very entertaining. A lot of action. I would say it did live up to the hype. I thought there'd be a lot of fireworks. There was a lot of fireworks. Um, Very close fight. Split decision. There was a lot of moments in the fight that it was very close, but at the same time, Yair Rodriguez was winning majority of the rounds, in my opinion, anyway. The first two rounds, Yair had his gas tank was nice and full. I felt he dominated those first two rounds, especially. Alex Caceres, he'd land the odd one here and there in the first two rounds, but it was all El Pantera. It was all Rodriguez in the first two rounds. Third round, I definitely gave it to Caceres. I thought he did enough, more than enough to win that round. It was close, but I thought it was, decisive enough that it was Caceres' round. The fourth round, very close as well. Could have went either way. I gave it to Rodriguez. And in the fifth round, another close round, but definitely I gave it to Rodriguez in the fifth round. And, there was a lot of questions going into this fight, especially with Rodriguez and his gas tank, because the style, the manner that he fights, the risks that he fights, the crazy kicks that he throws, and very unpredictable techniques, that, takes a lot of energy. And not to mention they're in Utah, very, very high altitude. And it did play a factor. It really did. And that's why we had the third and fourth were very close. The fifth was close too. But Yair Rodriguez, he dug down deep, and he did what he had to do, and it was a 5-round fight, 25 minutes, and Caceres wasn't pressing the action, but at the same time, from rounds 3, 4, and 5, Caceres wasn't he wasn't really moving too much. He was trying to get in that boxing range, close enough inside, and that's where he would excel. Because in my prediction video, I said that Caceres definitely is the better boxer, and traditional boxer, I guess. But Yair Rodriguez definitely landed a lot of nice punches in this fight. But I still feel that Caceres, when they're in boxing range, it's Caceres' fight, and he did land some very nice shots. Very great fight. Definitely, I scored it. I gave Rodriguez the first, the second, the fourth, and the fifth. And I know the fourth was very close. So, if you want to give Caceres the fourth, I'm okay with that. But at the very least, I gave Rodriguez the first, the second, and the fifth. Great fight, classic fight. I really don't know how far Rodriguez can get before having to, tweak his game a little bit, fine tune his game, because I really don't know if against the elite, the Jose Aldos, the Frankie Eggers, the Conor McGregors, I'm really not sure if that style can win a 5-round fight. Definitely has a lot of potential, but at the same time, he definitely has a lot to work on. Um, Very interesting fighter, though. That's definitely a guy that's on my radar. Moving forward, I won't miss any of his fights. I mean, he's one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. His nickname really rings true. I mean, El Pantera, the Panther. He's so smooth, so slick. Nothing is telegraphed. I mean, Alex Caceres. I mean, I didn't even mention this, but hats off to this guy, because he did phenomenal in this fight. It's not easy to fight a guy like El Pantera. I mean, there's no training partner that's going to just throw kinds of kicks that Rodriguez does flat out. Um, you can't. There's no one that's going to emulate Rodriguez in training, in camp. Let's be honest here. First of all, it's dangerous as hell, and there's nobody out there like Rodriguez. There's nobody in the UFC anyway that's like Rodriguez, in my opinion. Um, but can't wait to see what happens, and even Alex Caceres. I can't wait to see who he fights next, because you know he's he's a solid fighter, and ever since going back to featherweight, or moving up to featherweight, he's 2-1, but this was a good fight. He's tough. He's got a good chin. His body's strong. He can take a good shot, a good kick to the body or legs. And I'm very curious to see who he fights next. A lot of good guys at featherweight. That's it for this one, though. If you liked the video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at MMA Boxing Talk 1. Peace.